Have you ever noticed that there is a fix for everything? There's a remedy for everything. I mean, there is a pill if you can't sleep. There's a new car if you don't like your status. There's a new shampoo if your hair's not shiny enough. And if you don't feel good, there's a drive-through now. There's a drive-through that can help you to feel a little bit better. There's quick fixes for everything, it seems, except the stuff that actually needs our time. So today we're going to talk about how there's a remedy for discomforts, but where is the real cure found? Let's talk. Welcome to Colbert King Conversations, where real stories spark real change. I'm Melody Colbert King, and each week we'll have a conversation about the moments that shape us. We'll discuss leadership, community, and the courage it takes to advocate not only for yourself, but for others. These are conversations meant to inspire action, ignite hope, and remind us of the power of our voices. Colbert King Conversations is intimate, empowering, and made for everyday people navigating real life. Click subscribe, join the conversation, and let's step into your boldest, most authentic self. Colbert King Conversations. Let's talk. I mean, think about it. How many toothpastes, how many shampoos, how many hairbrushes do we really need? And then you add coffee shops to that. There's one on every corner. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that we don't need our coffees and our lattes. I like a good point collection system just as much as the next person. But what I'm saying is, how come we think things take too long? How come? We get a lot of stuff and then we're looking for storage units when we should just be throwing things away. And if our clothes aren't looking spiffy like we want them, there's going to be a new trend that's going to pop up. All we have to do is wait for a little bit. If you can think of a remedy or a fix, I will tell you, somebody's going to be selling it. And most of us are buying it. That's where the problem is lying, people. Most of us are buying it, including myself. And it's not because we always need it. Because if you think about it, there's not a lot that we actually need. Most of our needs are met or taken care of. But it's because it fills a space, even for a moment. Instead of us sitting with ourselves and sitting with emotions or feelings, we're filling that space constantly. We have gotten so used to quick fix, to finding that quick fix or finding that quick remedy, that we don't even know how to wait anymore. We'll stand at the microwave, people, looking and tapping our foot and looking at our watch, picking up our phone because 20 seconds is taking too long or 30 seconds is taking too long. What is that about? When did we lose the ability to sit with ourselves? It's like if something doesn't come quick, we're thinking, well, what's wrong with it? Or we're thinking, what's wrong with us? And there's really nothing. It's just some things take time. And all that gives us is a training of our mindset to reach for relief or finding a way to remedy the solution instead of reflecting on what is really stirring this emotion inside of me. What is it that I'm missing that I should be sitting with? But I'm telling you, not everything needs a fix. Not everything needs a quick remedy. Sometimes we do have to take the time and sit in those emotions. It takes a little bit of space. Remember in the episode before, I talked about everything has a season. Everything has a season. And that means we have to spend time in that season, reflect in that stillness, not rushing everything to be at a certain time in a certain place. Reflect on those emotions. What is it really telling you? What are these feelings that we want to get out of? What should we be trying to find in those? Because when we skip the process, we miss the growth that happens in the waiting. No one likes to wait because we're all looking for convenience. But what we really need is consistency. I mean, look at it like this. We spend most of our lives working people. And not that there's anything wrong with work. There's nothing wrong with work. But we're spending 8, 9, 10 hours a day sometimes. Some people longer than that as they have the 12-hour shifts. And we're working to bring this money home. By the way, that's taxed before we bring it home. That's taxed again when we spend it. And oh yeah, let's tax it again at the end of the year or on any purchases we make. I digress. That is a whole nother episode that we will get into. Believe me, we will get into that one also. But it's crazy. It's just crazy the amount of time that we're spending on doing these things. And then what's our reward? What's our reward for those long, hard hours that we're spending a great deal of years on? Retirement? I know. That's what they want us to buy into, retirement. But we're older. We're more tired. We're hoping that our health will hold out for retirement. And then we can go and do all the things. And then we'll maybe be able to enjoy it. But it's a myth. We bought into this idea that if we work hard right now, then we'll be able to live later. I'd like to challenge you with a different mindset. What if living wasn't supposed to wait until later? We're not supposed to wait until later to live. When did we get sold that dream? But maybe the better question is, why did we buy it so easily? We didn't even ask any questions. We just bought into that dream that work all the time so you can live later. It's time for Mel's Minute, where one powerful thought can spark a whole new way of winning your day. Hey everybody, welcome to Mel's Minute. The remedy we're looking for isn't for sale. It only comes from within. Yeah, it started early. It started as when we were kids. And you know what? We taught kids. And by the way, kids' whole existence is to move, to explore, to be curious, to do all the things that require movement. But you know what? We taught them to be still. We taught them to follow the bell. And think the same way that every other kid thinks at the same time, and we might give you a reward. And you know what that reward is? A good grade, or you're perceived as this, or you get to go to recess, or whatever it may be. Sounds kind of like that Pavlov dog training, doesn't it? Yeah. But I digress on that. And if you can't sit still, then you're going to be punished. If you can't follow the line or follow the trajectory, you're going to be punished. And we called it a problem that needed to be fixed. Not that it's just kids being curious and everybody has their own method and deal of learning, but it's a problem that needs fixing. Now, don't come at me in the comments and saying, well, we got to have structure and all of that, because we do. And I'm not saying I'm anti-structure, but we have to at some point admit that the system was built to make workers, not thinkers. Workers, not thinkers. And that's not right. That is not right. And those patterns have stuck with us. We grew up believing, I know especially the Gen X of what I am, but we grew up believing that success looks a certain way. You know, if you get the right grades, or you have the right suit on, or you're a graduate, or whatever, success looks a certain way. It sounds a certain way. You have to have the proper intellect and the proper English to speak and all things like that. It earns a certain paycheck. Well, if you're not making 6 figures, then what are you even successful? If you're not in that bracket, It drives a certain car. What do you mean you don't have a Mercedes Benz? Or you don't have a Porsche? Or you don't have your Cadillac out in your garage? Are you really even successful? But sometimes those same rules will keep us from ever discovering who we really and truly are. I want to read to you a little excerpt I have from my book, Frozen 5 Steps to Let It Go. And it's just a quick little paragraph that goes with kind of what we're talking about today. And it says, until you believe in yourself, until you own your own value, you will stay stuck in a mud puddle of hesitation. But once you break free from that mindset trap, you leave behind a set of footprints that helps others see their way out to do the same. Yes, Frozen 5 Steps to Let It Go. And I say that because for a while, I had the look of success, the part that people could see. I had the job titles. I had some nice things at the house. I wore some fancy labels. I can't really ever say I drove the success looking car because I tend to keep my cars for a while, 15 years or so, hey, it's paid for. That's all I know. I even had the busy schedule that made me seem like I was doing all the things or that I was needed everywhere. But I learned that I was living more in appearances than I was living in my purpose or in alignment. I had the appearance of success and looking like I was moving forward, but inside, I was still kind of at a standstill. Not moving forward, not really feeling that I was this or that, but just kind of in a standstill. And all that was because I didn't take the time to find my purpose, to define it, to know what it was and live in that movement. And your purpose is what pulls at your soul. It will bother you, it will nag at you until you address it. And that constant need for validation will leave you restless, and it will leave you searching, and it will leave you always thinking, if I can just get to that next thing, or once I do this, I'll feel fulfilled. But I'm here to tell you, it won't. You won't. And I didn't. And I want you to hear this next statement, because the remedy was never out there. Never out there. It's always been inside of me and inside of you. That's where we're going to find the remedy. And it's kind of wild how we'll accumulate so much, but we still feel empty. And it's because we're meant to create. We are meant to create, not just collect. Not just collecting titles, not just collecting statuses and those things. We're meant to create. So if you hear one thing out of this episode today, if one thing sticks with you, if it resonates with you, if there's one thing you can pass along to other people, know that you cannot buy peace. You cannot buy peace. There's not a remedy that is out there or a fix that is out there that's going to help you purchase or buy peace. You're not going to be able to buy it, place an order on Amazon. You can't, there's not an app that you can find to download that's going to help you with that. The only way you're going to get that is it's an inside job. It's an inside job. The remedy or the cure is within you. The world will have a remedy or a fix to sell us, But we need to focus on what is going to heal us, what is going to drive us forward. And that's only going to come through if we slow down long enough to remember what actually matters. The remedy's not going to be another purchase, but it's going to be taking a pause and sitting with your feelings, sitting with yourself, sitting with how can I bring this feeling of peace about? Maybe it's really simple. Maybe it's as simple as noticing. Notice how often you reach for your phone when you get bored. Notice how quick you are to buy something because you're feeling frustrated in the moment. Notice where your time and your energy are leaking out. And then stop and ask yourself, is this really developing me? Or is this really just distracting me? Try to reclaim a little piece of your life back. Instead of going to buy the coffee all the time, try making it. Sit in your silence for about 5 minutes and just breathe. Concentrate on your breath. And you may be surprised at how simple finding your healing can be when we stop trying to rush things. So when the world tells you that you need something new, pause and reflect and ask yourself, do I really need that, or do I need to sit with my feelings? If this episode resonated with you in any kind of way, or if you know somebody that you think it may help, please like, comment, share, subscribe, all the things, because we have to keep growing together. I am Melody Colbert King. I appreciate you, and I want you to know not everything has to come from outside. Some things are from within. Thanks for watching Colbert King Conversations. Join us next time on the next episode where we'll continue to grow together. Colbert King Conversations. Let's talk.